When in the pub, man, or club, you will need a drink. Alcohol gives them that energy so that you can be like hyper.
South Africa just needs to move away from the whole thing that the youth doesn't want to have fun without alcohol.
If we want to drink, we can drink.
We can have fun without alcohol.
Okay.
We roll something.
Stuff Savannah, whiskey, Jameson.
Beer, my beer's good. Beer.
Lots of beers.
Beer actually gives me a bit of a bloated sensation. I've been drinking cane and cream soda.
Cream soda! There's people everywhere. Everybody's drinking a bit.
The fabulosity has hit the roof.
I prefer wine. Nalene likes everything.
How many black dudes you know drink wine? We drink 43%, which is whiskeys and brandies.
Are you gonna drink some more? Yes!
It's the best way to have fun, to celebrate.
I hope my father doesn't see this.
So guys, can I get your orders?
I would like to.
I want the cherry mai tai.
Give me straw, bro. Now we'll have a gin and tonic.
And pizza?
I'll have an orange juice, please.
Guys, serious orange juice.
Orange juice? On a Friday? What?
And I think in South Africa,
we are a drinking culture, you know.
But the role of that alcohol is to communicate with the ancestors.
We've got many, many cultures in our country.
In the Xhosa culture, it's African beer, mqombothi.
Bly in die Weskaap waar mense drink.
It's the biggest drinking per capita in the southern hemisphere.
They drink because
to have at least a drink while you're at a social function seems to be the norm.
You don't drink, why not? Are you saved? Are you a Muslim? Are you born again Christian?
The university where I went to, you indoctrinated into drinking.
They do it alcoholic way.
White man came to South Africa with three things: the Bible, the weapons, and the third one is brandy.
It came out the part of our life.
So we can't say it starts from the white tradition or whatsoever, you know,
no,
like everybody's just getting sloshed.
The culture, man. The culture, everyone's like having fun and all that.
Ons hele te kultuur van drink.
It's culture.
Castle for me symbolizes, you know, happiness, good times, good friends. There's everything from these things that hold your keys to bottle openers. I mean, these over here are pretty cool. They're little, I don't even know what they're called, but if you push the light, it shines a castle symbol of a bottle onto a wall. If I do know anybody that's part of the promotion, then, you know, I do them a favor, they do me a favor, and, you know, if I can rig it, I will rig it. I don't even feel bad because, you know, if anyone should get castle memorabilia, it should be someone that drinks a lot of castle. And as far as I know, I don't know anybody else that drinks more castle than me. And I mean, my friends and family, for that matter, will vouch that as well. Like weekends make it sound worse than it is, But on an average week, you're probably looking at about at least 25 litres. At least that's on an average week. There's some weeks where I've had a keg in a week. I mean, that's 50 litres. That's 100 drafts in a week. When I wake up in the mornings and I do have a hangover, my remedy for that is 2 Marpetals and a beer as soon as you wake up. The first beer is going to go down a little bit rough, but my saying is you've got to get through the first one to enjoy the second one.
A great way to create a loyal follower and supporter of your brand is for people to feel like they're part of something and to yearn to be part of something.
Heineken or Castle sponsors a big concert or a big soccer tournament.
Castle were big, sponsors of rugby.
Dis 'n mysterious wêreld waar jy karre kry en meisies kry.
It creates the picture that when you drink alcohol you become cool and
people are kind of brainwashed into thinking that they're not good enough.
Have you ever seen an ugly woman in those ads? You've never seen an ugly bone.
En dan dink ons gaan hierdie metamorfose ondergaan om te dink maar ek gaan ook nou so word. Maar eintlik word jy maar net dronk.
Today, young people are flirting with a poison every bit as deadly as that of the snake.
We were puking up blue everywhere.
And I was dancing and running around without clothes on or...
People, pissing up against the bar, puking in the corners.
Puke.
Vomit.
And then we still went out afterwards because our other 2 girlfriends didn't want to stay at home and watch us get sick.
I had 6 beers in this funnel. It was this massive funnel, it's the biggest funnel I've ever seen. I mean, the pipe was about this thick. So it just fits in your mouth. Takes 2 beers just to fill the pipe. And we put 6 beers in there, and basically there's so much pressure that I put it in my mouth and I'm on my knees, and then when I say go, a mate lifts it up and stands on a chair. And those 6 beers go down in 7 seconds. And there's so much gas that goes down that I stood up. And obviously you've got mates that are trying to make you fail because they said you couldn't do it, so they're trying to give me a Heimlich maneuver, trying to get it all out. Managed to keep it down, but about 45 seconds later, so much gas that I was sweating profusely, and the gas was actually pushing the liquid out of all my pores.
And out it comes.
I'm never drinking again.
It's understood by people that it's a normal thing to do in our society. That's just where we are in our stage of development. We've been in this stage for a long time. People have been drinking for, thousands and thousands of years. It used to be more isolated to sort of ceremonies when people wanted out-of-body experiences or tied in with religious events and so on. But as with so many things, it's been commoditized or commercialized. Some other drugs that have gone the other route and they've been banned or prohibited and replaced to an extent by alcohol, and I think part of the whole commercialization of alcohol is making us see it as every day is a time for celebration and every day is a time for an out-of-body experience and to be at one with the gods and outside of our normal state of mind.
South African drinkers are amongst the heaviest drinkers in the world, drinking on average 20 litres of pure alcohol per year.
The only country I've ever seen where you are rewarded socially with mega kudos for successfully taking unnecessary dangerous risks when you are inebriated, as exemplified by the water cooler conversation. It was so screwed last night. I don't know how I got in the car. You don't know how you got in the car. I don't know how I got home. Any other country, people be like, are you on what? Like, crazy. South Africa, oh, that's amazing.
South Africa ranks within the top 3 heaviest drinking countries in the world, alongside the UK and the Ukraine, both well known for being serious binge drinkers.
So somebody threw up in an ashtray in a restaurant 5 days ago. Are you kidding? I bet they'll get away with it.
How did their friends react?
The Western Cape is by far and away the drinking capital of South Africa. Not only are there more drinkers here, but those that do drink more than anyone else in the country.
Our busiest days starts from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but the biggest day is Sunday.
Friday! So they go flat out on a Friday night. Start drinking after work, start drinking after 5.
Sunday.
Weekends.
We work during the week.
Part of the Thursday night, right? It's when people start drinking, right? They call it cleaning the wallet.
It would be a weekday because that's student nights and drinks prices are a lot more reasonable and yeah, everyone's more amped to party during the week because like weekends are so overdone already.
My busiest night was a Sunday. How was a Sunday? It's the best.
Sunday is International Drinking Day.
Sunday is International Drink Day. You can ask anybody.
Beste drinkdag, elke dag.
This castle can of yours is also one of my most treasured possessions. It's the second style that the castle can came out in. It's still closed. And I mean, I'll keep this until the day I die. I'll pass this on to my son, who'll pass it on to his son. So I'm hoping there'll be a little bit of legacy behind that. Basically, as soon as he's old enough to understand what I'm talking about, then I will introduce him into the joys of the castle world. You know, he's not allowed to drink until he's older, obviously. I'm not going to, feed my child beer. But, when he is older, I want him to know that, there's only one beer that he's going to drink, and that is Castle, if he wants to make his father proud.
Well, that first night was the start. Paul, Jim, and Tip took to drinking together.
When I was 15, I started drinking alcohol, and ever since I haven't been able to go out at night. And
that's enough! That's enough, though.
Yeah,
that's enough.
We started at the early age in the ghettos.
I must have been about 13, 14.
15 or 16.
What happened?
I got lekker dronk.
I didn't know what the feeling of drunkenness was. It was just this whole anxiety and excitement all wrapped up in one.
You find especially during festive, man, your 10-year-olds running around the streets drunk, man,
It was Christmas Day at home, and then my father and his friends were drinking.
Ja, hy het 'n botteltjie gevat, 'n juice botteltjie. Toe vat hy 'n papsak en toe drank hy het en toe vat hy nog papsak. En gooi hy drinken.
I tried to take a shower, be sober, and I tried to look in the mirror and try to straighten my face or something.
En toe sê almal kom uit julle huis uit. Toe vloek hy.
Jy het gevloek vir jou familie?
Nie vir die mense.
En wat het gebeur? Wat het hulle vir hom gesê?
En toe kom die mense nie uit nie. Almal was dronken in die park.
Ek weet my is dat my pa gedrink het. Ja, en as hy dronk is en dan staan sy by nog hy slaap. Ek vat en ek drink.
My father had this habit of giving all of us, right from the age of 8, 9, 10 years, a glass of sweet wine over Sunday lunch.
Soos jy kan opgroei, raak jy used to hy biergedrinkery en dan se dis part van sy lewe.
I personally think that's totally acceptable. And I think lots of people do that, and I think that's probably one of the best ways to be introduced to something like alcohol, is in a controlled environment, totally in moderation, and no pressure on you.
But if you're exposing a child or a person who has little maturity, how can you possibly expect them not to abuse it?
Ideally, you would rather the children weren't being exposed to drug use as teenagers. And so I wouldn't advocate parents teaching their children to smoke cannabis, to drink alcohol, to take tuck or heroin or anything. I just don't think it's advisable.
If I would ask a beer from my father, yo, he would kill me, man.
What do you see as the difference between alcohol and other drugs? Or is there a difference?
Very interesting point.
When you drink, you get drunk. When you smoke, you get high. The same thing.
There is no difference. The only difference is that the one is legal and the others are illegal.
Excuse me, are you offering me cocaine?
I'm simply wild about my good cocaine. 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 Cocaine, cocaine, cocaine,
I find alcohol is a drug, all right, but we could not consider marijuana as a drug.
Drag it, man. Try anything once. Fly. You can't get a habit from weed.
But then, alcohol is just as addictive as anything else.
I could take Coke once in a month or once in 2 months. Why legalize alcohol and not Coke? Why legalize alcohol and not drugs? It does the same thing to you.
What is a drug? It's a substance that is, one, mind-altering. It makes you intoxicated. Two, if you take it again and again and again, you build up tolerance. Therefore, you take 2 beers, couple of months, 3 beers, couple of months, 4 beers, then on to the 6-pack. Then later, after a couple of months or years, come Monday morning, after a heavy weekend, you get withdrawal symptoms.
If you go rolling a cocaine, there's heavy after effects after that. Whereas where you're drinking wine or whatever, you know that the after effects is you having a massive headache in the morning. You drink and then you drive, what do you get? A car accident?
Yeah, drunk driving, they like to fight to the police also.
What about Pilubomi, Bilisa, Spatini, then you guys on the final was born, Kuba Bambat Bausela, Ukale Gemo, Umdafulus, Bonal Samantha Waki,
I was supposed to into
People should be really, really scared of alcohol. That's the drug they should really be scared of.
There's actually a recent study done in the UK where they've tried to recategorize drugs according to their harms. And alcohol is on the top of the list because of it's so ubiquitous. So many people take alcohol and it has such a wide range of harms. They've rescheduled it as a Schedule A drug.
Well, I've never had to throw anyone out of a bar for having been smoked up and jointed out. But alcohol, yes. And alcohol, of course, is legal.
If I walked up to you and be like, hey, I got a bottle of whiskey, come over, you know, you would come over because it's a bottle of whiskey.
It's not sort of socially frowned upon as a baddie drug. It's an okay drug.
It's socially accepted.
It's a drug of choice.
Usage of alcohol is acceptable. In certain cultures, it's even part of who you are.
It's very easily accessible compared to cocaine or heroin or any one of the other drugs, crack.
What's common with us is alcohol, far more than, you hardly see drugs here.
Especially in the township, like tech is the new thing, man, and alcohol is been there.
But if you look out the window of this office, you can actually see very easily a very large advertisement, at least 1 or 2 or 3, and this is Long Street.
It's just acquired a legitimacy over the centuries, which it probably doesn't deserve.
average maybe 2 6-packs and a couple shots. But
in one night? Or?
Yeah, in one night. No, maybe a bit more.
A bottle of wine.
2 bottles.
Probably a few shooters.
Half a bottle of tequila, probably about 9 or so beers.
If I had 3 beers, I think that would be enough.
For a company of about, say, 5, you go through about 10 cases of beer.
Maybe a couple of brandy and cokes.
In South Africa, about half the population doesn't actually drink. But those that do drink more than make up for this, with about 1 in 3 drinkers drinking at harmful levels.
I can't remember how many times I've been drunk.
So many.
How many weekends in a year?
Lots of times. More than one.
A couple of hundred then.
In the hundreds. I've been drinking for a long time, so... Especially in Cape Town.
3 times.
What?
No, okay, sorry. 3 times. She lies, okay. No, I'm talking about like unconsciously drunk. Okay, 3 times.
For me, getting really drunk is probably not remembering much the next day. And when you go to bed, the room's spinning a bit.
We are binge drinkers. We do it because we can, and we do it because we want to get blasted. There's no other way of putting it. We're not drinking to have fun. We're drinking to have fun drunk. We're drinking to have fun drunk.
According to the World Health Organization, the average South African drinker drinks about double that of the average Canadian drinker, and more than triple that of the average drinker living in Malawi. Why is that?
Just walk up the road, you've got J&B marketing the size of a building.
Yeah, we're promotion girls, yeah. We've sold almost like 100 drops, so, and we've only been here for half an hour, so.
Can I use some water?
Water, no.
It's not their business to try and make you responsible. It's their business to get you to drink.